team selection, and we will become the general manager of year 1 of the Toronto Raptors. So expansion draft. We are mainly looking at potential and age. I love Ricky Cunningham. Dickie Simpkins, I think, is a no-brainer. I'm gonna wait and see if we can get him in the second round, though. Troy Nance, Reggie Hubbard, Charlie Ward. Lawrence Funderburk might be somebody we're looking at as well. Highest overall, by the way, Sam Perkins. I think I want to start with Stacey King. The potential, 28. Face the franchise. Power forward, Stacey King. The Grizzlies have got 2 picks. They take Sam Perkins, and I didn't see who... They take the injured Louis Hendricks. With our second pick, oh, he's a power forward, but he's power forward center. We'll move one of them. Dickie Simpkins is going to be pick number 2 for our squad. And then, where did he go? Where'd Funderburk go? They didn't take him. Oh, because you can only take one from each team, I assume? Bulls. All right, potential. Lonnie Waters, 68 overall. Charlie Ward, Monty Williams. Take Monty Williams. Grizzlies take Bruce Porter and Howard Isley. I think I want people with contract here too, but the people with contract kind of suck. Yeah, all the others are expired. I love it. The highest overall is going to be Keon Marks at 24. Actually, not a bad call, but a C- potential. Louis Sweetney, Charlie Ward. Let's go Sweetney. And Keon Marks. We have no point guards, no shooting guards. We got 2 small forwards. One can play shooting guard. 2 power forwards. Both can play center, but we do have a center. So we got to look at the backcourt here. Probably Troy Nance and Jackie Bowen. We just got to fill out those spots. Ricky Cunningham and Monty Dunleavy. Take Bradley Levins as well. No shooting guards. Got a couple more small forwards. Ronald Love. Mills, Lyle Bryant is there. It's a B+ still. It is that, but he's not going to sign with the team, so there's really no point taking him. Let's go Hubbard and Bryant here. Love goes to the Grizzlies. They take Roy Burke. We're going to take Bryant. I'm going to take a look at the roster one more time before we make our last couple picks here. There's nobody at shooting guard, but we do have some small forwards that can move over. And really at this point, I'm going to go George Parker because he could play small forward. And I'm going to sim the entire draft the rest of the way. We head to the draft, in which it is the Joe Smith draft. There's Kevin Garnett. Damian Stoudemire would be available with our pick. There's Jerry Stackhouse. Bryant Big Country Reeves. Antonio McDyess in there as well. This is where this mode is a little unrealistic. We're not the Kings anymore here. Hello? I did deselect the Sacramento Kings, did I not? Apparently I didn't. Trades. Trade finder. So am I going to be able to... You know what we'll do? My bad. You did not save. All right, we've got Jerry Stackhouse. That's the punishment, I guess. Monty Williams, 23, 72 overall. Potential C-. It's not going to cost us very much. Dickie Simpkins, 23 C-. I want to keep him around. Sidney Sweetney, potential B-. We're keeping him around. Keon Marks, C-. I might actually save a little bit of money here and decline him. Lyle Bryant is a B or a D+ potential. D+ potential. I'm good there. George Parker, D+. I'm gonna keep Sheldon Murray. Nance. What's Nance? I'll actually decline Nance. So we're gonna keep those guys around with the options. Qualifying offers, we have none. And we head to free agency. And we do have about 13 million to spend. Now again, looking at our roster, we got Brunson at 72. Stackhouse is our only shooting guard. Williams. This will be a tough season, but if we can bring in like Abdul Rauf would be a good pickup. But Stackhouse is that shooting guard, so that would be a little tough. Tom Chambers, Horace Grant, Cliff Robinson. You bring in Larry Bird. How many offers does he have on him? Not many. We'll send an offer to Larry Bird. Richard Dumas. He's got 12 offers, which you should be able to view offers. 8 mil, 9 mil, which technically we have. How old is he? 29. I'm going to put a no trade on Scottie Pippen. Yes, I've seen this. Larry Bird is a Toronto Raptor. 38-year-old Larry Bird. Pippen signing with the San Antonio Spurs. That is fine. Sean Elliott is 27 at 88. He's got 13 offers. Kendall Gill, I don't know if you guys remember, but we had a really successful run with the Grizzlies, where Kendall Gill, I believe, played for the Charlotte Hornets, and we couldn't get past the Charlotte Hornets until we got Kendall Gill off that squad. Mahmoud Abdul Rauf will play. You know, let's go with him. He's got no offers. He's expected to get at 6'5", 8". But he's coming in at 5'7", 5 here. We'll offer that as well. And it looks like he's in. So that is going to be around 6 and 4. So we've got about 3 left. We got about 3 to spend. And we're going to bring in Toronto Raptors legend, Charles Oakley. And we get all 3. We got 1.37 available to spend. Where are we going with this? Craig Elo? Let's take a look at the roster again. So Brunson, Abdul Rauf. I'm going to move over to point guard to give Stackhouse playing time. Bird will go to small forward. So I need another shooting guard and a center. Spud Webb. Hello? Very tempted. Very tempted to bring in Spud Webb, by the way. We could have Craig Elo as our backup, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Chris Dudley. Eldon Campbell at 26. Moses Malone at 40. Shane Towns. Shane Towns actually not a bad call at 24. Try and bring him in. And then back here, it was Dan Marley. Oh, he's not in the affordable conversation. No. Canadian Rick Fox, though, who plays small forward. Why not bring in Webb? The Suns have, like, absolutely lowballed him. If I'm going to bring him in, he's got to be... Oh, that's going to be too low for him to want, though. Let's do 1 year at 145. Towns is in. Spud Webb went to the Portland Trail Blazers. Craig Elo is not an option anymore. I think just the fact I guess what I could have done. Levens at 68. Mills and Murray. I'll take 2 Yes, I'll take 2 first-round draft picks for them. Hello? Why are we getting grades? That's what I was looking for. B potential in Bradley Levens, Sheldon Murray, B potential as well. So maybe that's why. 98, 99, 97, and 99, 99. I think we send him to the Bucks. Send him to the Bucks for 2 first-round draft picks. Fox is not on the list. He signed with the Nets, which is fine. So what we need, point guard, where we're going to move Abdul Rauf. So we need a shooting guard, small forward, Larry Bird we're going to move over. So we need that shooting guard and we need that center. We got 165 to do it. So now, this is where I'm going to go this way. See what people have as their backup centers. You know, Luke Longley would be... He's 26. Playing behind Shaquille O'Neal, nothing there. George Morrison. False. And maybe this is just Chris Bosh? Oh, Dana Bosh. Maybe this is where we kind of take our lumps in season 1, right? Theo Radliff just signed a contract. DJ Collins, B-, no offers. The other thing too is do we really have anything that we want to move? You know, we're going to need that shooting guard. And actually, I can bring in somebody like a Jerry Reynolds to keep it low because Stackhouse is a 79. We got to keep it under 79 overall. But if I can bring in like a Reynolds, Hobson, like keep it at league minimum. Now, honestly, I'm not against. Let's bring in a Jerry Reynolds. And then that way we can use 1.2 on a center. But at center, what's available to us is a 76 overall. So maybe that is, like I said, maybe that's just where we take our lumps. So if we are going to take our lumps, then maybe a Hubert Davis at 25, C+ potential. Who's got a little bit more potential at a lower? You know what, Jackie Bowen, he's on the squad. We got 1.24. Is there all positions? Yeah, there is. Overall, J.R. Reed at 27. How is he affordable? Interesting. Mark Park, Tom Chambers, but he's 36. Doug Smith, B+ at a 78, signed with Dallas. Let's look at power forward. J.R. Reed's power forward. We need somebody who can play. There's Chris Gatling, B. How many offers does he have? 2 years, 1 point. He's going to sign it. Ah, we got him. All right, now, roster. Abdul Rauf. So what I'm going to do here, just in transparency, I'm not going to put him at center because it's not one of his positions he plays, but I am going to put him at point guard and move his secondary to a shooting guard to make sure that he actually does play the position that we need him to play. And that's it. Keep changes in return. So Abdul Rauf is our point guard. Stackhouse is going to be our shooting guard. Over here, we're going to move Larry Bird to small forward. I love that we have... Look at Larry Bird in a flippin' Toronto Raptors jersey. How does this make sense? Charles Oakley's going to be that power forward presence. And then we could put Oak. You know what? Shane Towns at A- potential. I think I'm okay there. But then we have Gatling now. So roster. I could trade Stacey Kings and Vicky Simpkins. Is there 1-9? We just signed Stacey King too, didn't we? Front office trades. Oops. Trade finder. This could be a playoff team. 2 seconds. Give me a first. Show me 1 first rounder. Chicago Bulls in 99 or the Lakers in 99? The Bulls are still an absolute powerhouse. Detroit Pistons are probably on their way down, and that's in 97, so it's a lot earlier. I think I'm going Pistons, or the Lakers are taking a draft for Kobe. The Lakers are unprotected. Let's go with, is 97 is that the Kobe draft? Crap, I pushed it twice. Trade finder. King and a second. Unprotected. Also, did I just screw that up by 96 is? Vancouver's gonna give us a top 3 protected 96 pick. These look way better just by adding but we added a second. That's all right. Vancouver, get fleeced. Get fleeced. Go to Memphis early, you idiots. Is there anybody else in here? Tom Chambers. Trey Burton. You know what? I'm gonna leave the cap space open because we might need it. So our first year roster after trades, after draft, year 1 of the Toronto Raptors in this expansion run is Abdul Rauf. Old man Larry Bird at 38, 83 overall. Charles Oakley's our power forward at 81. We just drafted Jerry Stackhouse automatically. And then our starting center is going to be Shane Towns. And we are sitting on some draft capital as well with our first, the Grizzlies first next season. And we've got the Bucks top 3, ours, and the Grizzlies top 3 protected in the 97 draft as well. So we're going to have the CPU adjust rotation for injuries. It's kind of my way of turning injuries off. And then coaching. So here's a little secret, chat. The way I set this up, got Don Nelson as our coach, by the way. That is sick. We play through star, okay? Average tempo, I think is, yeah, average tempo. We crash offensive glass. Defensive, neutral defensive focus. Play physical defense, crash defensive glass. I always set it up this way. Play through star, average tempo, crash offensive glass, neutral defensive focus, play physical defense, crash defensive glass. How did I get here? No clue. Okay? Couldn't tell you. But that is how I set things up. And we are going to run 9 because after 9, there's not a lot there. There's nobody we really need to grow. Okay? We'll simulate regular season. We'll keep our eyes on trade offers. I did not set up our trade block. Navarro and a second for Williams. I'm going to decline that trade. Nothing really juicy coming our way. The other thing I do here is I hit X to change the target players. Okay? And then I hit start. Bobby Sura for Williams in a second. No, thank you. Always hit that X, then continue on. In year 1, we do have a winning record so far. Gaddison. I want to take a look at this one. Sidney Sweetney, who is 1 year left. Kenny Gaddison's got 1 year left, and we get a second unprotected. I don't know if I'm feeling that, honestly. No, I want to see, and this guy's old. That's an expiring contract, basically. Louis Sweetney is a shooting or a small forward. At small forward, we do have an injury to Larry Bird, it looked like. No, Charles Oakley. Williams would basically, but Larry Bird was an 83. Now he's up to be playing like an 81. So this is basically the swan song of Larry Bird. Pun slightly intended. But look at that cap space we're going to get. I am not going to take this offer. We currently sit 6th in the East. One of our picks currently sits at first overall, by the way. 3 years left on Elo. Shane Towns, 25. He's got the A- potential. Elo's 34. I don't think that this is an offer that we need to take either. We're going to decline that. Tim Hardaway at 29. An 88 overall. Ooh. We save a little bit in cap there. We actually get ourselves $1.7 million in cap space by basically moving Monty Williams, who's 24, C potential. We get Knight, who's 28, C potential, point guard, shooting guard. Monty Williams is shooting for small forward. But we get Tim Hardaway. We get a 2 overall. I'm going to take this deal. We're going to bring Tim Hardaway to the Toronto Raptors. Why not? We save on a little bit of cap. We'll go to coaching game plan here and rebuild rotations. Tim Hardaway, Jerry Stackhouse is up to an 80. Larry Bird is still at an 81. Chris Gatling at power forward because Charles Oakley is out. How long is he out for? Body health. He's got a right ankle sprain, 2 to 4 weeks. So I'm not really too worried about that. And then Towns is playing, which is good because he has that A- potential at 25. So he is getting some playing time. Hopefully he gets up to an 80 sooner or later. Trade deadline is coming, by the way. I'm not moving on Towns. sorry. We do have a 98 lottery protected first round draft pick coming our way in 98 in a trade offer, but we're at 96. So we need marks. I'm going to decline that trade. I will take a look at the, let's go team intel, see if we do have a lot of expiring contracts there too. It looks like Larry Bird's down to a 79, and I don't think that we're there for a championship. So do we move on from Larry Bird at this point? Horace Grant's on the block in Phoenix. That is an interesting name to see on a trade block. The Charles Sprewell is expiring. Corey Crowder, 48 overall. Let's go grab him. I'd like to acquire Shaquille O'Neal as well, please. Muggsy Bogues. Bring Muggsy back to the Raptors, or bring him a little earlier. Nobody else really on the block. Alonzo Mourning with an expiring contract. I don't think we'll be able to pick him up. Grant Hill. You guys know I love Grant Hill. Send Bird back to Boston. Let him retire with Boston. Don't necessarily hate that idea. Grant Hill's on Dallas. Front office. Trades. Trade finder. Just going to see what offers we can get on Larry Bird. It doesn't look like anybody's really looking to shake things up by bringing him in. Tom Gugliotta. Rick Fox. New Jersey Nets are offering Rick Fox. Lamont Murray. Cedric Ceballos. Some names. Could bring back Stacey King. I want to look at, just really quick. Ooh, Horace Grant's 5.47 though. Stackhouse, no thank you. And then the Mavericks, no offers. They can't take on that contract. Bring in Reggie Lewis. Yeah, they can't take it on. They can't take on his contract. They're basically right up to the cap right now. And here's the thing though, is that like that cap space could be absolutely dangerous at the end of the season, which is kind of what I'm thinking is like could bring in Thunder Burke from the Bulls and a first round pick. A Hoiberg, Cameron O'Connor and a draft pick. Cherokee Parks in a second. I think we're gonna go send these guys to the Bulls. We're gonna get their first round draft pick, top 3 protected in 98. And bring in Lawrence Thunder Burke. Trade finder. Copeland, the clerk. Wilkins. Anybody want to be stupid and give me a first round draft pick? Wembanyama! We could bring in Luke Wembanyama, Victor's dad. Yeah, nothing there. So if we did that and then Larry Bird, which we'd need a small forward. Oh well, Kevin Willis at 33, Stacey Augman, Rod Strickland, Brian Shaw, Tom Gugliotta, Derek Harper, Rick Fox. There's our small forward, Whiteberg. I think of Zoidberg, Paul Graham, Terry Cummins, Luke Longley in there. The other Jason Williams. Oh, Outlaw and J.R. Reed would be a good package there. The thing, like I said, like, man, do I want to move Larry Bird? I mean, even in this one, that's 5. We're getting about 5.5, and then we're spending, we'd still have about $1 million in cap space. Statement of the year. Yeah, nobody was dumb enough. Let's reverse this. I think I'm going to hold on to Larry Bird and weaponize that cap space. Either bring in a player that we're going to need. Yeah, all the deals have to be Larry Bird. Bring in a player that we need, or I don't know. We're not in bad shape, but we still have a little bit of building to do that I don't think that Rick Fox is that answer. At small forward, we might be able to do a lot of damage at 4.75 at free agency. You know what I'm gonna do first though? Front office, contracts, contract extensions, and nobody is eligible. So we're gonna simulate the rest of the regular season. Let's adjust this. Thunderberg is in the lineup. It is happening. Have an exception, allow them to have less than 14 players as expired. Just fill out the roster automatically for me. And then we'll adjust the rotation and simulate to regular season, or the rest of the regular season. We did flirt with 5th overall in the East. Also, if you look at that power rankings, we're in the top 10 in the league, by the way. Currently sitting in 5th in the conference. Chris Webber is your MVP from the 76ers. Kevin Garnett, Rookie of the Year. Vin Baker for the Timberwolves. He's playing with Shaq, Jesus. 6th player. David Robinson from the Spurs, your Defensive Player of the Year. Louis Sidney Sweetney, your Kia Most Improved Player. Casey Jones from the Sonics. Jerry Temple from the 76ers. Are your Executive and Coach of the Year. Jordan, Drexler, Weber, Garnett, Shaquille O'Neal, your first team. Your second team consists of Kendall Gill, who we could have signed, John Stockton, Scottie Pippen, Sean Kemp, and Hakeem Olajuwon. Third team is Gary Payton, Tim Hardaway from your Toronto Raptors, Derek Coleman, Joe Smith, and Dikembe Mutombo. A sprained right knee day-to-day, he should be okay for getting back into the playoffs right away. Your first defensive team is Jordan, Stockton, Garnett, Weber, Robinson, Kidd, Billy Owens, Scottie Pippen, Sean Kemp, and Hakeem Olajuwon. Your first rookie team You have got Kevin Garnett, Joe Smith, Kurt Thomas Bryant, Big Country Reeves, who still went to the Vancouver Grizzlies, which... Fifth kiss. And Stack made the first team. Second team is Damon Stoudemire, Antonio McDyess, Casey Barrett, Michael Finley, and Gary Trent Sr. Playoffs? We get the Chicago Bulls in the first round. I gotta remember how to do this, because I don't actually watch. Do I go... How do I... Simulate game? 4-point lead for the Bulls after one quarter. They add 5 more in the second. We pick up 12 and the lead. It is very close in the fourth. 1-point lead for the Bulls. It's a 2-point lead. Whoa, stop. 37 seconds left. A 2-point lead for the Bulls. We're going to jump in and watch the last half minute. Kind of like Skybox. Let's go broadcast, though. Marks at the line. 37.1 seconds left in the fourth. Shooting is second. A 1-point game, 37.1 seconds left. Jordan brings the ball into the offensive zone, and the Raptors will foul him. 30.2 seconds left. Oh, he fouled! A charge! Tim Hardaway takes a timeout. 28.4 seconds left. A 1-point game. Chicago leading Toronto. Ball to be inbounded by Morris. Morris finds Bird. Bird to Hardaway. Tim Hardaway shakes, spins, shoots, drops. A 1-point lead. 22-4 on the clock. And the Bulls will take a timeout. Here's Armstrong. It gets stolen. A foul, a reach, though, it looks like, on Toronto. Wait, was it a reach on the Bulls? Chris Gadling on the line. Gadling, first shot, banks it in, and it is a 2-point lead with 17-4 left. Second shot, Gadling does not get it to go. Miller over to Liberty. Armstrong with it. 12 seconds left. 2-point game. Dumas tries to get into the paint, gets it to drop. 1.9 left. Hardaway with a prayer gets it on the rim, and we are heading to overtime. How do they not kick it out to Jordan with the game on the line? Come on. Game 1 in Chicago, and Chicago gets possession. Eric Armstrong. Dumas. It gets blocked. Dumas again gets the rebound, can't get it to go. Gatling brings it down. Tim Hardaway now with it to Larry. Spins. Don't break your hip. Marks dunks it home. Armstrong could not cover the big man. And we take the early lead 30 seconds into the overtime period. Armstrong shoots, doesn't get it to go. Gatling picks it up. Bird with it. Bird says, Hardaway, get away. I've got this. Look at the socks on Bird, by the way. Tim Hardaway doesn't get it to go. Miller with the rebound. Liberty to, I want to say that's Joe Dumas. Dumas Hash. Jordan with it. Just under 4 minutes to go in overtime. Jordan gets it to go, and it is a tie game. Tim Hardaway battles just outside the paint. Little sky hook. Does not get to go. Armstrong grabs it. Armstrong to Jordan. Jordan down the lane to Dumas. Back to Jordan. Jordan pump fakes. Shoots. Misses. Marks with the rebound. And the Raptors will bring it down the court. Bird to Hardaway. Hardaway spins. He is fouled as he tries to get into the lane. Big block here with the backhand. Tremendous. 15 on the shot clock. 3:03 on the big clock. Marks to Gatling. Back to Hardaway. Marks with the pick and roll. Hardaway's got some room. Hardaway stops, drops, shuts it down and opens up shop. About a decade earlier than that song came out. 96-94, 2:40 left in overtime. Jordan, pick and roll, not as effective. Jordan just outside the key and doesn't get it to go. Very uncharacteristic for this era of Jordan. Sweeney finds Gatling. Gatling to Bird. Bird to Sweeney. Sweeney on Jordan. Sweeney gets around Jordan for the shot. Picks up his own rebound. Still can't get it to go. Jordan with the rebound. 2 minutes left. Dumas finds Liberty. Wide open under the hoop. He puts it down for 2. A nice little layup. Hardaway attacks the rim. Can't get it to go. Armstrong with the rebound. Tie game with 1 3/4 of a minute left. Dumas misses. Morris with the rebound. And Hardaway. Hardaway with the handles to Sweetney. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Sweetney trying to find some room. Sweetney off the glass and in. 98-96 Toronto. Armstrong from 3, doesn't get it to go. Gatling with the rebound. Sweeney brings it up. Sweeney to Hardaway. I want to see a Larry Bird 3 so bad. Hardaway in the paint. Pump fake. Marks. Throws it down, and it's a 4-point lead with 52.9 seconds left in the first overtime period. I will take a wide open dunk over a Larry Bird 3, but dang it, do I ever want to see a Larry Bird 3. Jordan. 50 seconds left on the clock. Sweeney on him. Jordan trying to get some separation. Puts up the floater, doesn't get it to go. Marks. Throws it to Hardaway. It's intercepted. Armstrong to Jordan. Jordan gets the 2 to drop, and it is 35 seconds left. Still a 2-point game with Toronto holding this slim lead. Hardaway attacks the glass. He gets fouled. He'll shoot 2? Question mark? Yeah. 30 points for Hardaway tonight. Can't get the first one to drop. That could prove to be pivotal here. Had the 14 assists as well, as pointed out by Kaniak in chat. 28.5 seconds left. Hardaway gets the second shot to drop. It's a 3-point lead, which this late in the game should be settling, but it is very unsettling with number 23 in white still on the floor. And he's got the rock. Jordan gets inside the 3-point line. A little bit of a floater, doesn't get it go. George Murison with the rebound. Drops the 2. 19-8 left. Raptors need to get it in the hands of somebody who will hit 3 free throws. 19-2 left. Tim Hardaway to shoot 2. Hardaway banks it a couple times, but gets it to drop. It's a 2-point lead. Hardaway with the second shot again. Gets it to bounce a couple times, but it does eventually drop, and it's 103-100 with 17 seconds left. Jordan kicks it out to Miller. Miller tries to get it to Armstrong. It is poked out by Tim Hardaway. 9-2 left in the first overtime period. Armstrong with it. Gets inside the 3-point line. They need 3 points. 2, 1. He kicks out back. Throws it up, and it is no good. In your Toronto Raptors in their first playoff game, you have to think this was an upset of epic proportions. But Toronto takes game 1 in Chicago, 103-100. Stellar. Let's check that box score. Jordan with 30 points. Miller with the double-double, 17 and 12. The Raptors. Double-double from Tim Hardaway, 33 and 14, 20 points for Sweeney. Double-double for Marks, the center, 12 points, 11 rebounds. 13 rebounds for Gatling. Just an overall dominant performance. Not even really derpy. What's going on? Dominant, probably not the best word for it. We're going to simulate with Simcast again. Dominant is not the best word for it, seeing as how it did take overtime. We get a 3-point lead after the first. We score 71 to their 47? Speaking of dominant. 10-point lead in the third. Now it's a 14-point lead, and we will coast to a 2-0 lead on the Chicago Bulls. Towns with 18, Oakley with 16, Stackhouse with 15. Hardaway fouled out 23 minutes in. Jordan, 35 and 8. He does not have any help, though, on this squad. Like Brian Grant, drafted in the last draft, 12 points. We didn't have that 30-point score, but we had 1, 2, 3. Is he hitting 3-pointers anymore? Didn't even attempt one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We had 6 guys in double digits. 108-100. We're going to head to Toronto with a 2-0 lead on the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls will come out blazing, a 2-point lead after 1, and it's even up after 2. We tie it up heading into the fourth. 2 minutes left. It is a 9-point lead with 43 seconds left. We're going to keep going on this one. 98-83 for your Toronto Raptors. 27 for Hardaway. Stackhouse 18. 15 and 13 for Marks. 12 for Sweeney. Jordan with a pedestrian 16, 10, and almost the triple-double, though, with 9 assists. But nobody in those 20s. Tim Hardaway leading the way for the Raptors. And it's a best of 3. We sweep the Chicago Bulls. I forgot the first round was a best of 3. We send Michael Jordan packing in our first season. And we will take on the Charlotte Hornets in round number 2. Portland gets through Minnesota, so Shaq is on the outskirts. Denver beating Seattle. The number 1 seed is out in the West. Utah got through Golden State. And the Lakers, who I thought that they were kind of in their low point, are into the second round. We'll take on Utah, Portland, Denver. Philly made short work of Atlanta. And so did the Nets over Miami. All went to script, except we really disrupted it with Chicago. getting swept in 3 games. We head to Charlotte for game number 1. 9-point lead after 1. We cut that down by 1 point in the second, but they are absolutely running away with game number 1 here. We're at 24 points, 20 points, late in the 4th, and we're not going to make up any room here. 121-87 for the Charlotte Hornets. Hardaway with 24, 21 for Stackhouse, Marks with 12. Bird is injured. Larry Bird in his what is expected to be his final season got the flu. We call it the bird flu. Are we calling it the bird flu right now? Larry Bird picks up a flu, does not go in and have his very own flu game. Still play. Oh, he played 26 minutes, got no points. This is the Larry Bird flu game right here. 0 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. He showed up. You know what? Can't argue with that. Del Curry with, oh, let's go back up here. LJ, 30 points. Kendall Gill, 21 points. Mark Price with 19. Del Curry with 15. The double-double for Mark Price, though. Game 1 not going our way. We'll head to game number 2. See if we can tie things up. And we're keeping it somewhat close. It was a 5-point. That's over. It is so over. It is so over. So who's excited for the draft? 120-93. Game number 2. Stackhouse leading the way for the Raptors. 28 points. 19 and 13 assists for Hardaway. Sidney Sweetney, 12 points, 10 points for Larry Bird after recovering from the flu. Del Curry leading the way for the Charlotte Hornets with 29 points. Larry Johnson with 21. Mark Price again with a double-double. We'll adjust that. I'm going to bring the bench utilization down to 45. Performance factor is going to be up. System proficiency preference, let's go 65. I don't think this is going to make too much of a difference. Bench depth, I was okay with at 9. Well, let's see if we can stave off elimination or basically get to the draft. 7-point lead after 1, tied second quarter. Ooh, they come out guns blazing in the 3rd. Still a close game, though. 11-point, they're running away with it in the 4th. They are running away with it in the 4th. 112-95, Hardaway with 34. What a great pickup. Grabbing that offer that was presented to us. Larry Bird, 2 for 2 from 3. 18 points, 16 for Towns. Stackhouse, 11 points, 12 rebounds for Gatling, by the way. But Kendall Gill, he's been my kryptonite. 28 points, 14, 14, 13, and 12. Just not enough by your Toronto Raptors. Can we reverse sweep? It is looking like it is no from me, dog. Oh, 6 point? 4 point, 6 point. There's some life, chat. Just kidding. 8-point lead, 114. Chat, we made it to the 2nd round in year number 1 of the Toronto Raptors, but the Charlotte Hornets will sweep through and head to the Eastern Conference Finals and go on to win the championship. LJ, Flow Daddy, how are you? The Kia Finals MVP. I don't think Kia was a thing. I think Kia was a thing in 96. I could be wrong, but I don't think it was a thing. They beat the Lakers, by the way. Player retirements. Larry Bird does call it a career. We free up $4.75 million with that roster move. Some other great names on here. Moses Malone, who played into 41. Bill Laimbeer was 39. Kevin McHale, 38. Tom Chambers, I was looking at. He was on our roster when we just kind of simmed through with the Sacramento Kings. He was a name that kept popping up every so often. We don't need to look at staff retirements. Hall of Fame. It's got to be Larry, Moses, and McHale. That makes sense. There's going to be a lot of Boston Celtics on here. McHale, Bird, Bill Laimbeer on the Pistons, and Moses on the Rockets and the 76ers. Surprising we didn't choose to retire his number with his 1 season on the squad. Historic changes. Boston Celtics will change their branding. The Jazz are going to change their logo, uniforms, and floor. Lakers change their floor, uniforms, and logo. Detroit Pistons will change. San Antonio making changes. And the Minnesota Timberwolves will change the logo, uniforms, and floor of the Minnesota Timberwolves.